Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about Dark Crisis because it's finally here. Been waiting on this one for a while, not really anticipating it with high hopes because yes, it's another Crisis from DC and we did not need another Crisis, especially one like this. It's so weird, it's out of nowhere, but it's finally here. They've been building up to it for a while. Spoilers if you have not read Dark Crisis #1, I will be getting into spoilers, and if you're not caught up on what's going on with DC currently, basically all you need to know is that the Justice League is dead. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, some others, they all died, and now some villains are like, it's our time to shine because the Justice League's dead, and that's essentially the premise for Dark Crisis. So this issue starts off with Jon trying to form a new Justice League because we see the world has plunged into chaos considering the Justice League's dead. You have a bunch of random villains just being like, Justice League's dead, time to do whatever we want because the big players are out, even though you still have tons of other heroes in the DC universe. I like seeing Jon and Wally team up during this. Jon and Wally team up during this basically because Wally's trying to help Jon and be like, hey, I've been where you've been in terms of, you know, the bigger hero steps away, goes away in one way or another, and then you have to fill their shoes, and there's some pretty big shoes to fill, like he had to do with Barry, now Jon has to do with Clark. So I like seeing that, and while I'm not a fan of this event, Joshua Williamson is a talented writer. I like most of what he does. And this issue is actually pretty well written. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of the circumstances for this event. I think it's kind of dumb. But this is an intriguing issue, which kind of makes me mad at Joshua Williamson, because it's like, it would be easy to write this event off if he just made it suck, but it's not a bad issue. Don't get me wrong, it's not like a must-read amazing issue, but it is intriguing. So Jon's trying to build his Justice League. We see him go around to a ton of heroes and ask them, like the new Wonder Woman, Yara Flora, I think is how you say her name. And she's like, nah, I'm busy doing my stuff in Brazil. Don't want to be part of your Justice League. He asks a ton of other people. They don't want to be a part of his Justice League. And then he builds his Justice League, and we see the members. Now, this was already revealed prior to this issue coming out, who's going to be part of the Justice League. It's a horrible roster, but it's kind of acknowledged in the book. Now, there's a couple of different ways this could go. I really hope that they just keep it in terms of this being like, oh, this is just a scrappy put together Justice League and it sucks and it's not here to stay. It's just for Dark Crisis and then we get like an actual Justice League afterwards. I hope it's not like, oh, this is the Justice League going forward for like a year or several months. That would be horrible. This roster makes no sense for the Justice League, but again, for like just a scrappy put together league, I'm fine with it for an event. So the league is Jon Kent, obviously, Supergirl, both Blue Beetles being Jamie Reyes and Ted Cord. We got Dr. Light with the female Dr. Light. We got Killer Frost, Booster Gold, Frankenstein, Aqualad, Harley Quinn, and Damian. So not a lot of people belong on this Justice League, but the two that really don't is Harley Quinn and Killer Frost. I don't understand why Killer Frost is part of this league at all. I don't remember the last thing I even read with Killer Frost, but is she like on some redemption arc now where they're trying to make her a hero? I don't know. I don't understand. But Harley Quinn, they've been trying to make a hero for a long time, and it annoys me to no end. It never stops. They keep trying to make her a hero, and I hate this character so much. I loved Harley Quinn when Paul Dini was the one orchestrating her character. But anyone else that writes her, it's horrible. She's obnoxious. She's not supposed to be a hero. I hate her whole redemption. They even through her, they ruined Poison Ivy, who was a great villain once upon a time, but now is just like a good person that is basically Harley Quinn's girlfriend, and that's it. Poison Ivy isn't even her own character anymore. She's just, oh yeah, that's Harley Quinn's girlfriend. So yeah, I hate Harley Quinn, and her being a part of the Justice League makes no sense. But they've been trying to make her a hero for a long time, and they're continuing to do that. I don't understand DC's boner for Harley Quinn, but it is what it is. There's also repetition on this league. Like, you have Jon and Supergirl. You don't really like one or the other. You don't need both. It's kind of weird to have both of them. You have both Blue Beetles on the league, which is even pointed out by Black Adam. It was funny. I tweeted out the page as soon as I read it when I read it earlier today because it was funny. Like, Joshua Williamson even kind of acknowledges how dumb this roster is. So I'll read this page real quick. When Jon is talking to Black Adam, because again, if you're not caught up on current events, Black Adam has been part of the Justice League ever since Bendis took over, and he's the only one to survive the attack. So when the Justice League died, Pariah killed everyone except for Black Adam. He's the only one to survive. So Jon basically talks to Black Adam about it, and this is how it goes. Jon says, well, listen, we can do this. Give people the confidence they need to feel safe again. And Black Adam says, how old are you? to Dr. Light. And he says, this one will stab you in the back. That one is unstable, will also stab you in the back. And then we get Harley just being quirky and funny. I'm like, yeah, I'll stab you. I hate Harley so much. And then he says, do you really need 2 Blue Beetles and the rest? And Jon says, are good heroes. People are scared, Black Adam. The world needs a Justice League. Black Adam says, this is no Justice League. The world needs capable protectors, not children. You're trying to run before you can walk, son of Kal-El. You are not ready for this role, and you and I both know who should lead a new Justice League. That's just, Black Adam's just spitting straight facts. I love that page. It's so good. But I also like Jon. I think Jon is actually written well in this book. I loved everything Tomasi and Gleason did with Jon. I loved everything that Dan Jurgens did with Jon. But ever since Bendis took him over, and then Tom Taylor afterwards, Jon has been one of my most hated characters. He is very annoying. I hate the character after that. But in this, he's actually written pretty well. Like, I like the Jon in this book. He's written as a kid who's like, man, Superman, my dad is gone, but people still need someone to protect them and they need hope. I'm gonna try to do my best. Like, he's written as kind of a scrappy kid in this book that's just trying to do his best. Not like in Tom Taylor's Son of Kal-El, where he's just written as this like holier than thou character that knows the best thing for everyone and kind of wants to just be a dictator and knows the best thing to do in any scenario, and is like I hate that Jon. But in this, again, he's more of like a scrappy kid that kind of got thrown into a horrible situation and is trying to make the best of it. I like Jon in this book. Williamson actually writes a good Jon Kent, which is nice. It's nice to see Jon actually being like heroic and trying to do something nice instead of in his own book where it's just like, hey, I'm gay Superman, and that's literally all there is to his character. But in this, Jon's an actual character again, so it's cool. But yeah, I like that, seeing Joshua Williamson write Jon Kent actually as a good character, and his back and forth with Black Adam's great, and Black Adam's just spot on there, just being like, what are you doing? This is a horrible roster. What is going on here? This makes no sense. So then after all that, we see what Nightwing's up to, because Nightwing is at Titans Academy training like the future Titans. And during that, Titans Academy gets attacked. And we see Chupacabra, who's like some Titans member I don't think I've ever heard of before, that walks in and is bloody and has a bomb strapped to his chest and then explodes. And it turns out Deathstroke was behind that. Another thing, if you're not caught up on, Deathstroke, Shadow War just happened. Spoilers for Shadow War if you haven't read that. That was a big event that tied between Batman, Robin, and Deathstroke. All those titles, all written by Joshua Williamson. Not a very good event. Started out strong, ended horribly. So at the end of that event, Deathstroke gets his ass beat and murdered by Talia al Ghul, and then gets thrown in a Lazarus pit and comes back. So now at the end of this book, he wants to murder all the Titans. I don't know why. Talia al Ghul killed him, and when he comes out of the Lazarus pit, he's like, I want to kill the Titans. It's like, what? He should be going all out at Talia. And Deathstroke, if you've been around the channel for a while, you know Deathstroke is one of my favorite comic book characters of all time. I love what Marv Wolfman did with him. He is, when he created him and the arc he had, such a good character. I love what Judd Winnick did with him during his Green Arrow run. So badass. But most people do not know how to write Deathstroke, and Joshua Williamson fits into that most people category. He does not know how to write Deathstroke. And he's continued to take Deathstroke down to being just a piss-poor character. There's no reason for anyone in the DC Universe to be afraid of Deathstroke. He is like a D-tier villain now. He can't beat anyone. He's an idiot. He's horrible at everything. He's not competent at all. He used to be a badass, and when Deathstroke showed up in his book, it was scary because he was probably going to whip your hero's ass. Like, he was going to whip your favorite hero's ass. Like, it's not going to be a good time for them if Deathstroke showed up in the book. But now it's like, oh, he's just a D-tier villain that's there to get beat up. Like, he just lost to Talia, and now you think he's going to take on the Titans? No. Nightwing's going to beat his ass. It's not even going to be close. I'm not invested in this at all. If you would have had him in Shadow War take down the League of Assassins and take down Talia, then all of a sudden you have a bigger, stronger build-up to Dark Crisis. It's like, oh crap, Deathstroke is in like some type of in-game mode where like he's doing stuff. But instead, he gets his ass beat by Talia, gets killed, and gets revived by the Lazarus Pit. And now he's here to take down the Titans, even though Talia's the one who did it. And so it makes no sense. I don't understand, because Deathstroke comes in like this force of nature, and it's like, he's not, though. We just saw him lose to Talia. But he's supposed to take on Nightwing and the Titans? So anyways, after Chupacabra dies, we see Deathstroke and his league outside of, because he took over, like, the secret side of supervillains or whatever, so he calls himself, like, the king of supervillains now. So Deathstroke has his, like, boys out there, and they're all attacking the Titans Tower, and he's like, take out the little Titans, but leave the teachers to me, because he wants to, you know, take them out personally for some reason, even though, again, Talia is the one who killed him, and Grant died a long time ago, so this ain't revenge for Grant. So this is so weird. And then we see him shoot Beast Boy in the face, which, funny enough, isn't his first time killing Beast Boy. He killed Beast Boy a long time ago. There was like, back in the day, I can't remember which issue it was. There was a comic where, like, Beast Boy went mad after Slade and wanted to attack. Like, Slade wasn't even attacking him. He wanted to go after him, and Slade killed him, but then there was, like, some magic stuff that brought Beast Boy back to life in, like, the same issue. But yeah, fun fact, not the first time he's killed Beast Boy. But also, we don't know if he kills him, because he's got his gun in his face, and then we just see a bang, so who knows, he could have not actually shot him in the face. And remember when Penguin died? I'm doing quotations a lot in this video, but remember when Red Hood shot Penguin in the face, and then later it's revealed, oh, it was just a blank, and he got some shrapnel in his eye, and that was it. It could be a similar thing here. Does not mean Beast Boy's dead, because we don't actually see it happen. We just see a bang. And then after that, we see Pariah talking about how he's going to destroy the multiverse. And that's pretty much it for the first issue of Dark Crisis. So again, not a bad issue. I liked it, actually. I liked seeing Jon. I liked the way Black Adam was. I think it's a pretty good issue for the most part. It's nothing amazing or something that you need to read, but it's good. And my main problem is how Joshua Williamson ruined Deathstroke yet again, like every other writer has, leading up to this story. Like, you have this big story where Deathstroke's going to be one of the big baddies. It's Deathstroke on one end and then Pariah on another end, because Deathstroke's kind of just taking advantage of the events that Pariah started. So you kind of have two villains doing different things in this story. But Deathstroke's not a formidable threat. It's like if Condiment King was like, I'm going to take down the Bat family. It's like, why is this an event? Condiment King's not going to do anything to the Bat family. What is going on? That's how Deathstroke is. He's on, like, the level of Condiment King now. When Deathstroke shows up, it's like, oh, it's the guy that gets his ass kicked all the time. He's not formidable at all. So, yeah, I'm just sad because I love Deathstroke. He's a great character. And to see what DC has done to him makes me very, very sad. Just reboot. Bring Marv Wolfman back in to have him write Deathstroke and save the character. Please. Please, DC. And Deathstroke's such a good character. And for you guys recognize the markability of him because you keep giving him his own book. You keep putting him in movies and TV shows. But you don't know how to use him. It pisses me off so much. Like, you guys know that fans like him. But you don't know why. You just think, oh, he looks cool. But you don't know the character. You don't know how he's actually supposed to act. It's infuriating as a fan of this character to see DC do this time and time and time and time and time and time again. It just keeps happening. But that's my thoughts on it. Aside from the Deathstroke stuff, this was a decent issue. Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? I want to hear from you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. My podcast, Nerd Talk, is back. You can listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and Amazon Podcasts. That's linked in the description below. We've been covering every episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you want to listen to that, check that out, please. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.
Hey, skinny boy, saucy boy, I be running to the bank. Yeah, you know I hit the gas in the whip full tank. Riding past the ocean while I'm listening to Frank.